This morning, Governor Soludo calls for selfless service to accelerate national growth and development. As Anambra police operatives rescue kidnapped victim, arrest suspects. Nigeria's military to sustain partnership to defeat insurgency as Philippines impose price cap on rice to tackle inflation. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. At this time, I am David Okwakwasele. We remind you that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. We begin from Abia State, where Governor Chukwuma Soludo says reinventing Nigeria's past, which had the likes of Dr. Michael Okpara, Eastern Nigeria's former premier, and his ideals, remains the foundation for the country's future. Governor Soludo stated this while giving the keynote speech at the maiden edition of Dr. M.I. Okpara Memorial Lecture at Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Mudike in Abia State. Government House correspondent Ejika Banafao, the report taken from here.
The governor, who asked the institution not to forget the reason the name was given, stressed that the lecture was apt to place a reminder that Nigeria once had a glorious past. While describing himself as a lifetime apostle of Dr. Okpara, Professor Soludo decried Nigeria's lack of preparation for opportunities and threats of the future, saying that this is why the country appears to be developing backwards. Professor Soludo called for a reinvention of ideas and vision of the leader of the founding fathers of countries as Africa cannot claim the 21st century without Nigeria, advocating a recourse to the growth of trajectories of Dr. Okpara as a way to go, while recalling how Dr. Okpara evenly developed the old eastern region on the tripod of agriculture, industry and commerce. He eulogized him as a nationalist, humanist with character for selfless service, as well as a policy entrepreneur who saw government as a public opportunity to ensure sustainable public finance. He added that a nation is unachievable without nationals making a call for replicants in the mode of Dr. Okpara in different corners, both in public and private service.
But he created the unprecedented prosperity for all of us, gave us a future, laid the foundation for what we are today. That's the man we have come to celebrate. He was the hero, the man, the leader with character. And I want to say to you, dear friends, for this country to move forward, we must go back to those fundamental values.
On his part, Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, pledged the support of his government to the university and thanked Soludo for his thought-provoking keynote address.
Inaugurate the endowment fund and declare it open. I don't know how much money we are looking for, but I have no doubt that with the caliber of people that I see here, we will realize all the money we are looking for. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
In their goodwill messages, President General of Ohaneze Ndi-Igbo Worldwide, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, and the Director General World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, described Dr. Okpara as a legacy that should be held to.
He is a person that I have a lot of confidence. I respect the talent. I respect the integrity. He's a great man. So I am happy to be here, and I wish all of you happy listening.
Who lifted our state up, and indeed lifted the whole of Eastern Nigeria up in the eyes of all Nigerians. We must not forget how accomplished he was, being at the age of 39, Nigeria's youngest premier.
Michael Okpara University was established on the 2nd November 1992 when the federal government of Nigeria promulgated the Federal Universities of Agriculture degree 1992. The university's major responsibility was to impart understanding of the processes that govern human experiences that relate to biophysical, biochemical, and socio-economic components of the environment, and how these processes can be harnessed for the production of food and fiber to meet human needs without the degradation of the natural environment.
The national leader of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, and Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has called on people of Imo State to vote massively for APGA during the Imo State governorship election that will be held on November 11th to replicate good governance enjoyed by the Anambra in the state. Professor Soludo made the call while flagging off APGA campaign in Imo State for the Imo State governorship election, which will hold in November this year. Our Government House correspondent, Emmanuel Okonkwo, tells us more.
Professor Soludo, who was represented by the deputy, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezin, while reminding people of Imo State that APGA is a political party that is committed to liberating the masses from bad governance, told the people that it is APGA that will enthrone the long-awaited total transformation in Imo State through its candidate, Mr. Tony Ejogu. He encouraged APGA stakeholders in Imo State to work assiduously and collaboratively to ensure the party's victory at the poll come 11th November 2023.
Political campaign. Mana a binding force. Because the bias in our million or begini. So because we are appealing to the conscience of Ndibai, Ndibu, the whole of Southeast, that this is the way. So there is something that is holding us together, which we have lost, which is one party. And the governor says it, my own governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo.
Earlier in a remark, the national chairman of APGA, Barrister Sly Ezo-Okenwa, noted that government should be about prudence, accountability, and building of economy in the interest of the people, and explained that APGA, as the hope of common man, is out to enthrone good governance that will solve the problem of the people, as he identified bad leadership as the major problem of Nigeria.
Founders and people who have labored for this party. Even the national anthem, Asana made the labors of our heroes, but it shall not be in vain. And that's why we are happy Nadim Basa, not today, as the deputy governorship candidate of APGA.
The APGA Imo State governorship candidate, Mr. Ejogu, promised that he is vying for the position to restore Imo State's glory and enthrone a state where adequate security of life and property, peace and progress are guaranteed if elected.
To launch my message of redemption of our dear Imo State. My first charge in the rebuilding agenda is to make our communities livable again.
In separate remarks, the national women leader of APGA, Barrister Elizabeth Nwokocha, National Vice Chairman of APGA Southeast, Reverend Augustine Ehumere, and Imo State APGA Chairman, Mr. John Iwala, expressed hope that APGA will triumph in the election, encouraging Ndimo to vote massively for their own good and that of their unborn children. Contributing, the senator representing Abia South Senatorial District at the Senate, Senator Enyinaya Abaribe, encouraged people of Imo State not to only vote massively for APGA during the election, but also to secure the votes after voting to avoid rigging or manipulation of any kind. From Owerri in Imo State, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
Police operatives in Anambra State have rescued a kidnapped victim and arrested the suspects. According to the Public Relations Officer of Anambra State Police Command, Mr. Tochukwu Ikenga, operatives attached to Area Command Headquarters on it while on Township Patrol received a distress call at about 9:30 o'clock in the night of a kidnap incident around Boromir roundabout. He said operatives responded to the distress call and caught up with a shuttle bus in which the kidnapped victim was held and engaged the kidnappers in a shootout without harming the hostage, who was rescued unhurt. He said the two suspects were arrested at the scene, while others managed to escape with gunshot wounds, while the police team recovered one Beretta pistol, 9 rounds of 9mm live ammunition, and the shuttle bus without number plates, which the criminal used for the kidnap operation. The PPRO said the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Aderemi Adeoye, while commending police operatives for the remarkable feat, charged them to intensify efforts aimed at apprehending the fleeing gang members and also called on hospitals in the area to report anyone presenting gunshot injuries while treatment is ongoing to save lives. The Transition Committee Chairman of Nnewi North Local Government Area, Engineer Chris Obiora, has promised to galvanize stakeholders in Nnewi to assist government in its development strides in the community. Speaking at the 2023 Afiolo Festival of Nnewi community held at Nkwo Triangle, Engineer Obiora said the move will help to achieve Governor Chukwuma Soludo's objective of making livable and prosperous a state. Correspondent Joseph Ebwacha has the details.
He said Nnewi people revere their rich cultural heritage. Reason indigenes from different parts of the world gathered to celebrate the festival and thanked God for preserving Igwe Dr. Kenneth Orizu on the throne, saying that the monarch has continued to bond indigenes. Describing Igwe Orizu's many years on the throne in good health as sign that Nnewi is a blessed community, the member representing Nnewi North constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, Honorable Onyeka Chukwuike, called for cooperation among Nnewi indigenes to continuously bring government presence in the community.
Our work is to make sure that the government presence and the way we incorporate with government, because the only way you can get anything from government is to cooperate.
The President General of Nzukora Nnewi, Dr. Maduka Atuenyi, who explained that celebrating the concluding part of the 2023 Afiolo Festival at Nkwo Nnewi Triangle made the event so special, thanked Governor Soludo for making it possible, even as he commended him for his developmental strides in the state and in Nnewi in particular. On Anambra at 32, Dr. Atuenyi noted that the state is no longer known for business alone, but is now outshining others in other sectors, including education, making non-Anambrarians to want to be in the Anambra.
Almost the indigenous and Nnewi. So now, so we go for a technocrat. In our front, the man with one with water, and don't you want one other than they've done a lot of years, and don't put in for so many things. Even if I know
the Chief Medical Director of Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital Nnewi, Dr. Joseph Ubaja, organized free medical outreach on the occasion, said more corporate social responsibility programs are in the pipeline for the masses. Igwe Orizu was present at the concluding part of the 2023 Afiolo Festival at the Nkwo Nnewi Triangle, where other side attractions were used to entertain people gathered.
The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says the Armed Forces of Nigeria will continue to work with supportive groups to defeat any group undermining security and safety in the country. The Defense Media spokesperson who was reporting activities of the Armed Forces of Nigeria as of 31st August 2023 to journalists in Abuja said the ongoing counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations across the country remain critical to the armed forces' efforts to achieve peace and ensure that violent extremist groups do not find safe haven in the country. Princess Ekwi Ajidelfa, ABS Abuja Bureau Chief, Abuja Bureau, has the details.
He said the focus of the military is to conduct its operations in support of national security interests, adding that during the week leading to today, the military neutralized 39 terrorists and arrested 157 terrorists and 16 perpetrators of oil theft. According to him, troops also rescued 109 kidnapped hostages and denied oil thieves the sum of 765,863,000 naira.
Discovered and destroyed 71 dugout pits, 63 storage tanks, among others. Troops also recovered over 569,000 liters of stolen crude oil, over 486,000 liters of illegally refined AGO diesel, and over 59,000 liters of PMS petrol.
Major General Buba promised that the military will continue to pursue aggressive military operations against violent extremist groups seeking to undermine the security of the country and conduct violence against the people. According to him, the armed forces will remain focused on its core mission and will continually make adjustments along the way to better protect citizens while isolating and annihilating those groups constituting security nuisance to the country.
These operations remain critical to the armed forces' effort to ensuring peace and making sure that these violent extremist groups, as you have described, do not find safe haven within the shores of our country.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
The Philippines has imposed a price cap on rice as the Southeast Asian country grapples with some of the highest inflations in the region. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed an executive order capping prices in light of the considerable economic strain on Filipinos, particularly the underprivileged and marginalized, the presidential office has said. Marcos Jr. set the maximum price for regular milled rice and well-milled rice at 41 Philippines pesos per kilogram and 45 pesos per kilogram respectively. Marcos' office said the alarming rise in retail prices stemmed from illegal price manipulation, such as hoarding by opportunistic traders and collusion among industry cartels in light of the lean season, as well as external factors including the war in Ukraine, India's ban on rice exports, and volatile oil prices. Marcos, who is also the Agriculture Minister, directed customs authorities to intensify inspections of rice warehouses to combat hoarding and illegal importation, as he ordered the competition watchdog to take action against cartels and merchants abusing their dominant market position. The inflation rate of rice in the Philippines rose from 1% in January 2022 to 4.2% in July 2023, according to the National Economic and Development Authority of the Philippines. Chelsea has signed England under-21 forward Cole Palmer from Manchester City in an ideal worth an initial £40 million. Palmer agreed a 7-year contract with Chelsea, who have a club option of a further 12-month extension and could pay City an extra £2.5 million in add-on clauses. City were keen to keep Palmer, but the size of Chelsea's offer eventually persuaded them to catch in on a rising star who was keen for more regular first-team opportunities. The 21-year-old could make his Chelsea debut in today's Premier League match against Nottingham Forest at Stamford Bridge. Palmer's move to the Bridge takes Chelsea spending in the 16 months since Todd Boehly's Clear Lake Capital Consortium bought the club to £1 billion. And then on a sad note, it was a celebration of life well lived as the late Princess Chinwendike was laid to rest in her country home in Awka. Our correspondent, Kenneth Kuchkwode, brings us more details.
Late Princess Chinwendike, described by family members and sympathizers as a strong, jovial, and virtuous woman, passed on at the age of 78. She was the first daughter of Igwe A.E. Adreka of Ojoto, Idemili South local government area, wife to a cousin of Professor Kenneth Dike, both of blessed memories, and the mother of Nollywood actor Obi Dike. In a sermon during a funeral service in her honor at Emmanuel Anglican Church, one of the presiding priests, Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ogbuefi, who drew his lesson from the book of James, explained that the essence of life is not about unbridled accumulation of wealth and comfort, but to live for God to gain eternity.
But we discovered that James understood that life is like a mist, which appears for a while and vanishes. So every opportunity, every chance, every privilege that God has given to us in this life, we have to utilize knowing that it's going to last forever.
Speaking later, the son of the deceased and Nollywood actor, Mr. Obi Dike, noted that the late mother had an outstanding virtues, love for God, humility, and the spirit of sacrifice.
This is what we got to have, but I'm trying to reach you, that God will replenish in Jesus' name. I need the government. Don't more than anything. But in all, we're thanking God for our life. Because our life was a life of encouragement. Our life was a selfless life. And we learned so much from our life. And we're just thanking God for the opportunity of having her as our mother.
Also speaking, the daughter, Mrs. Obiageli Iguilo, explained that her mother was peaceful, loving and caring, and taught her patience, being prayerful, and good culinary skills.
She was so caring, so loving, so compassionate. I don't really know the right word to use to describe her, but she was a good mom, very patient, how to be prayerful, how to be caring. She taught me a lot of things, how to cook good food, how to welcome people with love, a lot.
An Oka community stakeholder and politician, Chief Emeka Igwe, who came to condole with the family, enjoined people to always try to affect humanity positively while still alive, noting that late Princess Chinwe lived a purposeful life. The State Director, National Orientation Agency, Mr. Joseph Uchendo, the former State Director, Barrister Charles Nwoji, and a friend to the family, Dr. Dennis Ekemezie, extolled the late Princess Chinwe while recalling the good memories they shared with her and encouraged the children to continue on her path. The event was well attended by family, friends, and Nollywood actors and actresses, including the Director of News and Current Affairs, ABS, Mr. Gabe Okpaleze, and featured rendition of motherly songs by Obi for his late mother.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka. On Twitter, we are at ABS Radio TV, while on Instagram is at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go here, the main points, again, we told you that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for selfless service to accelerate national growth and development as Anambra police operatives rescue kidnapped victims and arrest suspects. We also told you that Nigeria's military is to sustain partnership to defeat insurgency as Philippines imposes price cap on rice to tackle inflation. Remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the news this morning. Thanks for joining us. I am David Okpokwasole.